Good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. This is Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach, live in the beautiful studios of the Henderson Financial Group Studios, right here in Miami Lakes, Florida. And joining me, right in the nick of time, is my sister-in-law, business partner, Lynda V. Harris. How you doing, Lynda?
I am fantastic. Aren't you looking handsome this morning?
Yeah, look at you. Look at you.
I've had to bring out the diamonds today, babe. We got Kamala in the White House.
I mean,
remember last week I was so anxious.
But has it been confirmed? It hasn't been called yet.
Don't steal my joy.
Well, I say the longer it takes, the more stuff happens.
You are 100% correct. Presumed president and vice president.
What are you just talking about Kamala? What about Biden? I mean, you're not excited about him?
100%.
You know?
100%. But let me just say this. Can you give me a minute?
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to look right into the camera. Give me a minute.
Yeah, look into the camera.
Look into the camera. Ladies, excuses are being broken down. This is going to be historical. This gives every one of us reason to dream big. Not that I needed any additional reason to have self-confidence. You know I'm not short of that. But I'm going to tell you, every time something like this happens in history and it chips away and it breaks down excuses, I am just so excited. Our little black girls can every day look up on the news, whether she's traveling all over the world, to represent the most powerful country in the world. This is amazing. This is historical. This is something that, you know how we used to not have black dolls and all we saw in the definition of beauty was the European beauty. But listen, all of this is being broken down. I am so excited. I am all in. I am feeling, again, not that I wasn't self-confident and ambitious, but oh boy, it helps to see this type of representation. And so let's do it. Let's continue the work. We help put this administration in the White House, and let's keep going. Know our power, queens. Know our power. Thank you so much.
So before the game is over, you are already celebrating. You know, I've seen this a lot. You know, through my day, I've seen this a lot, where the other team is dancing in the end zone, doing the funky chicken, and all of a sudden, it's 2 minutes left in the game, and boom, the other team run and score a touchdown. Boy, I tell you, and this video right here is historical. This is going to be in the ether forever.
I cannot stand 2 hurts in a row. Last year, as the chairwoman of the Women's Business Council of the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce, we had a watch party. We rented out a restaurant. You were there, the Vagabond. We had Channel 7 News.
I remember.
We had music. AC was our DJ. We just knew this glass ceiling was going to be broke. It was a big party. We had the party favors, the decor. And as the night went on, I still haven't gotten over it. I've never.
And you were shocked.
I was shocked.
You were shocked.
I was shocked.
Trump came from behind.
Yes.
And slam dunk. And boy, I tell you, everybody left that party quick.
It was.
Or either got drunk. Now, so you're going to do the same thing when the game is on. It hasn't been called. You still have those states out there, and you still going to do it. See, I would prefer just be cool, calm, and act like you've been here before, because we have.
We really have.
We have. And you just wait until, until it's over. So I don't have to tell you, I don't have to say who are you rooting for, right?
No. All right, it's fine. I'll be calm, cool, and collected. I'll take it all back.
We'll see. This too shall pass. Lynda's all caught up into this historical moment. She's saying at this moment right now. But hey, the fat lady hadn't sung yet. The game isn't over yet. Why don't we just wait to see? Again, I'm Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach. And this is my sister-in-law, who's vice president of the Henderson Financial Group, Lynda V. Harris. We've been working we're working together for, I don't know, probably 25 years at least.
A long time.
I've been in the financial services for 37 years. Today, Lynda, yesterday,
I share this.
Yesterday I had a 4-hour
Thank you.
It was a 4-hour Zoom conference on life insurance. You
Oh my
follow me?
goodness.
Yes, all
That
around the
is
country.
so needed and
Yes.
so important and all important. How did it go?
Oh man, it was fantastic because you always it's always something new to learn and strategies to learn. I mean it really is. So today, what I want to do, I really want to have a honest conversation about the many ways that you can use life insurance. Because as I was coming up, we were always taught that life insurance is just for the protection of premature death, and that really is true. But I mean, I remember, man, when I was 30 years old, I hated life insurance. I didn't even want to. I didn't even want to talk about life insurance. Even though I have a life insurance license at 30, but I hated life insurance because it reminded me of death. And who wants to think about their mortality?
And a lot of ethnic groups still feel that way.
Yes,
They really do. We have to change the narrative.
but more than 50% of people can't get life insurance. You know what? One of the major reasons why?
What's that?
Health,
Yeah,
bad health.
yeah.
You cannot get life insurance if your health is just so bad. A lot of people are really, really obese. Americans, because of all of this, the way what they put in our food. Because a lot of the food, they're trying to extend the shelf life, so they have a lot of ingredients in it that's not really healthy for us, and it's really killing us.
Wow.
And then so a lot of times you could eat something and run it off, but now you eat some stuff and it have all kind of ingredients in it.
And then they have a lot of these vitamins and pills and memory pills, and we don't know what's in those. And sometimes we take them and they trigger false positives in when we do go get the blood test.
Right.
Because you're taking something to help you with something, and it's too much potassium or too much zinc or too much something in it.
Yeah. So I want to have a conversation about
let's
that.
drill down on it.
So since 50% of Americans don't qualify for life insurance, and the reason why, because the life insurance company said, we're not going to give you life insurance, and 3 months later you're dead, and we got to pay all this money.
Right. They're in the business of you outliving the policy,
right? Well,
especially with term.
They're professional risk takers.
Absolutely.
And they look at you and they take have you do an examination to find out what's the possibility of you living longer. And the older you get, the more expensive life insurance is, because they know you closer to your mortality. You follow me?
Gotcha.
So with that in mind, I used to always feel that life insurance, you shouldn't get life insurance on a kid, because I feel like life insurance, a kid's not making money. If a kid go to heaven, it's not like you're going to miss, he wasn't paying the light bill or the phone bill or the mortgage. So you only need life insurance to protect income, but that's not true.
Yeah, you would say unless they're Webster or Shirley Temple.
Right.
Or
Remember I used to say
somebody
that? I used to say
Child Star or something.
Right. I used to say that, but that's changed now. The reason why, because think about this. Someone right now who's 500 pounds and couldn't get life insurance.
Okay.
If you had got life insurance from him or her at an early age, when they was 5, 6 years old,
Gotcha.
it would have been etched in stone.
Before any conditions, the
Yes.
obesity, before
Yes.
any child diabetes, before,
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The early worm always gets the worm.
Gotcha.
When you do things early, you have to be a forward thinker. That's why now I have 4 grandkids. The youngest one is little DJ.
Right.
And he is just turned 3 years old. I have life insurance on him.
But now we got to explain
Yes.
different types.
Right. I have a
That's-
life insurance on
okay.
him, but not because I feel that something's going to happen to him. You never know. But I didn't get that so we can benefit in terms of because he pays bills or whatever. But I got it because I wanted him to be insurable.
Good deal.
I wanted him to be insured because, he's healthy right now, everything looking good. But I don't know if he's going to grow up to be a fat boy and have diabetes or have, all kind of, medical
Well, now I
conditions.
hear people asking now, what do you mean you got it on the 3-year-old and it's a 20-year term?
No, it's
And
not a
he-
20-year
Ah.
term. No, I got a permanent policy.
That's what.
And a permanent policy, you can design your premium. You can say, okay, I want to pay
Love it.
$1,000 a year for $300,000 coverage. And it's only $1,000 a year, that's like $83,
and
a
it's
month.
permanent.
And it's permanent to the rest until he's 120 years old. So if you got a $300,000 policy that costs $1,000 a year, you don't have to cost $1,000. You can say, okay, I want it to cost $500.
Okay.
But at least that kid has permanent coverage, has a legacy. You follow me?
Absolutely.
And the type of policy that I put on him, the money I put in there grows. It's tied to an index, an investment index.
Love
so
it.
it will grow. You follow me? Now, that's the one that I chose because I like to get equity. In other words, I don't like to pay my money on things that only benefit you if you die or if
Somebody
something
dies,
happens.
absolutely.
I like to have a policy that says I'm going to benefit whether I'm alive or I'm going to heaven.
Okay.
So those are the type of policies. So not only since I have 4 grandkids, each one of them I have a life insurance policy. Now it may sound like I'm trying to benefit off their death. No. This is the plan. I put life insurance on let's say I pay $3,000 a year because I want to put more money in there. And it's like a savings rather than giving them candy or giving them Christmas gifts. I just keep putting money into a policy, $3,000 a year, right?
Okay.
I'm only going to pay for that policy, let's say for 20 years, then it stops.
So let's hold on now. It's a lot of bells and whistles here. First of all, I can hear people asking, "Do you need the parents' permission?"
Tonio, let me give me that so I can see who's here.
See who's feeling us.
See who's feeling us and say good morning to our people first here. Well, we know we got Denise Ward.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, Denise? Okay, we got Dorothy Henderson.
Moore.
Erica. This is the crew here. This is our crew.
Hi, Diana. Tracy Parnell. Power to the people. Hey, Parnell.
Brother Spoon. P. Damian Nelson. Okay, Lenora.
Hey, Rhonda.
Oh, man, the gang is here. This is the gang is here.
Thank you for Thursday. Great She Build Conference.
Alma. Oh, man, the gang is here. Yes. That's our regulars, man. This is our crew. Okay, make sure y'all share, okay?
Yes.
Now, so listen to what I'm saying because, so if half of Americans, half of people right now, when you get older, conditions set in.
Oh, yeah.
You might have had a stroke, prostate cancer, you got over it, some sort of breast cancer. But what if you had a policy or even you get it on your kids now, not so much to benefit from, but to give them a start. Because life insurance, in many ways, man, you can create a legacy.
Absolutely.
And the type of life insurance that I'm talking about is you don't have to die in order to use it. Now,
it's a wealth builder.
It's a wealth builder.
Absolutely.
So now I have 4 grandkids.
Okay.
So I say I'm going to put, let's say, $3,000 a year in each of them. Okay. Now, since I'm the owner of the policy, in a life insurance plan, it's always 3 components. You have the owner. That's the person who's like who controls the policy, the owner. Then you have the insured. That's the kid, or it's you.
Okay.
Since the kid is under 18 years old, they don't have to do any sort of medical check, no blood, no urine, no nothing. Can you believe that?
Wow.
You can just put that on the kid. You got to answer some questions and say, hey, is the kid okay? That kind of stuff, If the kid's basically healthy, you put that on the kid. Now, the younger they are, the cheaper a $1 million plan is. Absolutely. Can you believe that? So if you want to put $500,000 on a kid, now you're doing this because you're forward thinking. So I'm the owner.
Okay.
That's the one component.
Okay.
The second component is the insured.
Okay.
That would be the kid.
Child.
That's the child.
Gotcha.
Or you.
Okay.
And then the beneficiaries. There's 3 components. So
I can hear people asking, did you need the parents' permission to put insurance on your grandchildren?
No, I need the permission. I'm paying. What are they gonna say?
You
No.
need insurable interest.
I'm the grandparent.
And what we mean by insurable interest is you got to be related. You can't go pull a little Ray from down the street and you not related in any way, shape, form.
Or you have to have some sort of business dealing with them.
Business dealing, okay.
Yeah.
But especially children, they want some type of insurable
but grandmother, they want to know.
But grandmother is.
Or grandfather.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, or even your own children, So my main reason for doing that, one of my main reasons for doing that is because I wanted to lock in their insurability. So one is 3, then the other one is 4. Okay. No, 3, 9, and 10.
Okay.
And the oldest grandchild is just turned 20.
Okay.
Now, all of them have policies.
Okay.
And I overfund, I put money in there like a savings. Now.
And you're the owner.
And I'm the owner. But what I did is I put their parent name on with me to be co-owners.
Gotcha.
See, because I don't plan on keeping it. I'm just giving them a start. Gotcha. And it's so cheap right now because they're so young.
Better than any toys or better than clothing and better. Yes.
And a lot of wealthy people use this same strategy instead of using a a 529 plan
Gotcha.
because the money you put in there is growing.
So by the time they're ready for college,
Oh man, it compound interest.
from 3 years old.
Oh man, it compound interest. And the government, Congress, since they know about this and a lot of people don't, it doesn't count against your FAFSA, grants, loans. So when
you don't have to report it.
You don't have to report
It's
it.
part of your assets.
That's right. It's like invisible for the child. So the
that's how the
child.
wealthy still get certain grants and
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
love it.
That's a strategy. And I think every black and brown person, well, even white people too, Spanish, I mean, this is a great strategy that most people don't talk about because it involves mortality, death. And most people, like I did when I was 30, they want to talk about that. But you have to be a forward thinker.
And we have to get over that image of life insurance. It is not your grandfather's life insurance anymore. It is a tool to build wealth,
Yes.
to generate generational wealth, to pass down wealth, and to give your child a head start. Get rid of that old thinking of what insurance used to be for. Not only does someone doesn't have to die for you to come up. You're
Right.
giving that child a head start. They may want to do a gap year and travel around the world. They have the money. Now, I hear them asking, can they borrow from it?
Yes.
That's what's amazing.
They can borrow from, and guess what?
What's amazing.
And the reason when you borrow from it, it's not a taxable event. Now, the way I set these plans up for these
Amazing.
kids, the way I set these up for these kids is in 20 years.
Okay.
Let's say I put in $3,000 a year.
Okay.
Okay, in 20 years that's $60,000.
Okay.
When I looked at it, it's probably going to be worth at least $250,000 because of the compound interest. It's
Absolutely.
the eighth one
And
of
you
the
got
world.
it so young.
Yes.
And I don't know why what we're saying out there doesn't resonate with people, because we all got well, no, we don't, nieces, because I don't have grandchildren. Give us a call, 305-825-1444, the Henderson Financial Group, 305-825-1444. I don't understand why they're not calling, especially the grandmothers who every time I see them, no shade to the grandmother. Look at my grandchild. Look at my grandchild. This is what you can do. The best gift of love is insurance.
Yes.
The best
yes.
gift of love.
Lynette says, hey, we got, Lynette says hello. We got Alma, got Brenda Brown. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Mario. Okay. You know, who else we got? We got Pamela Sylvain. Who else we got? We got a lot of, this is our gain.
Alma said, what's a good hypothetical overfunding?
Okay, a good hypothetical overfunding. Let's just say the insurance costs, just for the benefits, the death benefit. Let's say it costs $500 a year.
Okay.
You would put in $1,500. So the $500 would go for the death insurance. That other $1,000 would be like putting into a checking or putting into a savings account, an investment account.
And it's tied to an index.
And it's tied to an index. Index like an S&P 500 or NASDAQ or international funds. It's incredible. And the good thing about it, it can never go down. Whatever money you put in there, it will never go down. That's like having a little side fund. Okay? So you got that.
Got it.
Now, let's just say if some people say, I can't afford $1,000 a year.
Yeah, but
Listen, there's another strategy. There's a term. Now, when I was coming up, they didn't have convertible term insurance that have living benefits. Now, somebody who's 40 years old, Lynda, can get $1 million term insurance. Not just regular term, because I don't like regular term. Because regular term says you're going to get insurance for 10 years. And if you don't die in 10 years, all the money you
We
put in
keep it.
there, they keep it,
Right.
and you don't have no more insurance.
right.
But now they have this thing called convertible term. So let's say you want to get $1 million policy and you're 40 years old. It'll cost you $500 a year for $1 million. Now, so so you can say, I want to get that for 20 years. Now, the reason why you want to have the $1 million coverage is because you have some little kids, you have a family, they're dependent on you. But you want to have something just in case something happens to you. Your family don't have to, be homeless. And your kids don't have to, scuffle and say daddy or mama didn't leave anything. So you pay $500 annually. That's only like $40 a month, $41 a month. You follow me? That's annual payment for $1 million coverage for a 40-year-old. Now, since I don't like term, what I would do is get it a convertible term, meaning that the 40-year-old pay $500 a year for $1 million coverage. And in 10 years, if he wants to convert it to a permanent plan, he doesn't have to take a medical no medical checkup at all.
So if any health issues come up,
He's locked in.
he's locked in.
And this is, see, since 50% of people can't get life insurance because of some illness. Now, I don't want you all to think just because you have high blood pressure. Half America has high blood pressure. I don't want you to think if you have diabetes, you don't qualify.
Right.
Half of America have diabetes, especially with these big gulp and all these sodas we're drinking. And if you have high cholesterol, that's no problem. The insurance company says as long as you are being obedient and taking your medication, you're with us. You care about your life.
Right.
They will insure you.
You have
But if
good
you
habits.
go rogue,
Yeah.
then they're like, nah, man, we're not insure you. You going rogue. You out there, you supposed to be taking your medication. You ain't got it, your prescription filled in 5 years. You may just kill over any minute. We got to pay? Nah, we're not insuring you because you're not responsible.
Absolutely. They want to make sure you haven't been hospitalized for that illness in a recent time
Right.
frame. And like you said, make sure there's no flare-ups.
So now, you can also, if you say I can't afford it, you can get a convertible term. Now, let me tell you what a convertible term is.
Okay.
Term is, and the bad thing about this, 99% of people that work for a company have an employer. You go in there and part of your benefit package is you get life insurance.
Right.
That's term life insurance. So let's say you start out and you're 30 years old and you get your benefit package and you feel like, okay, I got 3 times or 5 times my salary. You know, if something happened to me, I got $250,000 death. Okay, now you're 30 years old. And then you don't get an outside coverage and you're in good health. You're in good health. But now you're 30, you work there for another 30 years and you're 60.
Absolutely.
Now you want to retire. When you retire, you don't have any more life insurance. Can you believe that?
Once you separate from service,
You don't
that's
have it.
It's not portable. You can't take it with you.
Because the company gave you group life insurance. So
Absolutely.
you didn't have to, even if you had bad health, as long as you get on with a company group, you was all in there and they insured you. But now you done spent 30 years working for the man. Now you say, I'm retired, and now you leave and you don't have any life insurance. And now you want to get life insurance. You're 60, you're 30 years older, plus you have some health problems. It's going to be tough. And even if you can get it, it's going to be very expensive. We see so many
So
people
much of that.
fall into that category,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's another way I think that you should have an outside policy. And insurers, employers, I would think would do a better job to say, listen, these are benefits, but do you guys have any outside on your own just in case you want to quit this job, get laid off, or
know.
get fired? You need to have something on your own. Now, I used to hate life insurance. And the reason why I hated it, because I never wanted to think about my mortality. I was 30 years old, 25. I'm like, I'm going to live forever. Who wants to think about death or dying?
People think it's a waste of money. It's like, I'm young. I'm not thinking about dying. I got to put my money elsewhere. I'll deal with that later. I'm too young to talk about this.
Let me tell you something.
But,
listen, I'm a certified financial planner.
Absolutely.
Listen, I have all the credentials, the licenses, you know, from insurance to real estate to all of that. I have that, and I've had it for a long time. And I know about Forex. You know, we do a lot of stock options. We do a lot of real estate. We do all of that. Let me tell you something. I've been to the mountaintop. I've been to the mountaintop. There is nothing that's better. And there is no investment that will guarantee to do what you want it to do. Guaranteed, other than a life insurance policy. I'm going to say that again. There is nothing on the planet that will do what it guaranteed to be done
Okay.
other than life insurance.
There you have it.
Nothing, Lynda, because as long as you pay the premium, if you say I got $1 million policy or $500,000 policy, if you live to be 300 years old, when you go to heaven, it's going to pay. I mean, it is. Yeah. All other investments are subject to go up and down, up and down.
So we got the G word, guarantee, your
Right.
principal.
That's right.
We got a non-taxable event, God forbid, when something happens and you pass and go to the pearly gates, whoever your beneficiary is, it's not a taxable event. You don't have to pay taxes.
Can you believe
on
that?
So you got guaranteed, non-taxable. You can start young. You can use it as an investment tool, and it creates generational wealth.
Well, what
you
I
can
like-
borrow against it.
Yes. What I like, you know, some of you all who read the scriptures, inside of there, it says, blessed to the ones that have, for they should have more. Now, imagine you're putting money into, okay, you could do your real estate. Okay. You could do that. You could do your stocks. Okay. You can do that. You could do your Forex or options or whatever. You're diversifying, oil or whatever, right? But life insurance should be the foundation of all of that, because it's going to pay. And when it does pay, it's tax free. Listen, even annuity, which I like annuities because they're like pensions, like your private pensions. But when you start receiving the income, or if you die and you leave it to your beneficiary, it's taxable. Life insurance is tax free. Even if you win the lottery, you got to pay taxes.
You gotta pay taxes.
Tell me something where you don't have to pay taxes. Life insurance. Now, but you say, I got to die. No, you don't. Because the New Jack life insurance, that what we like,
absolutely,
you could put $5,000-$10,000 away, $50,000 away a year. That money is going to grow. It never will go down, and you have access to the money. What I like about it is, when I started saying, blessed to the ones that have, for you may have more.
Right.
If you have a life insurance policy and you've built up, let's say, $100,000 in it over the years, and all of a sudden there's an investment that you want to make, you don't have to withdraw the money.
That's right.
As long as it's in that policy, you could use that policy as collateral, and before you can say, let me have the money, the insurance companies will give you,
loan you,
use your policy as collateral. You don't need a job. You don't need credit. So if you got $50,000, $100,000 in the life insurance policy, and you say, oh my goodness, I need to go buy a car. You don't spend none of that money. You use that as collateral and go get the car cash.
So this is what I said at the top of the hour. We got to, at all of this information, don't just listen to it and then go to brunch. Don't just listen to it and don't act on it. That show, The First 48, it basically says if a crime isn't solved in the first 48 hours, the likelihood it will never be. Well, if you don't do something in the next 48 hours, I thank you for Lynn Vincent. Well, I'm calling you guys ASAP. I had a term policy for probably over 10 years. And then Maria Darby Lenar, good morning, first time seeing this. We've been doing this over 15 years. I need information. Maria, give us a call, 305-825-1444, 305-825-1444. Like I said at the top of the hour, Robert, we're breaking down excuses.
Yes.
There's ways to create wealth. I know you weren't born a Trump or a Kennedy or a Rockefeller, but that shouldn't stop you. The cards you were dealt aren't the ones that you need to end up with.
Well, the thing is, we like the conversations that we're having right now. We normally don't get this. I mean, when do we have time? Most of us, we never talk about, let's break this thing down and look at life insurance. Because life insurance, we just think about, something when you die. But no. They Jedi mind us. That's a chess move, not a checkers move. Most of us are playing checkers because the board looks the same. Everything looks the same. But looks can be deceiving. They're doing something else. It's always two things going on in the world. Whatever you see, there's always two things going on.
So Almar, how can you use insurance as a monthly or quarterly passive income strategy?
Oh man, Al, you right on it.
See, you going somewhere with this. We may have to have him call us. You think you want to say it on the air?
That's such a beautiful question because now that's the way we use life insurance. A lot of times what we do is, rather than using a 401k, like I don't have a 401k because I life insurance, I can use that as passive income. Absolutely. And when I get the income, it's tax free. And I still have the life insurance. So the life insurance is like a Swiss Army knife. You could use it for so many different things and strategy. Even a term policy now comes with living benefits. What I mean by living benefits is
that's amazing. The living benefits.
So let's just say you're 50 years old and you want to get $1 million policy. Okay. And that $1 million policy, if you got one with living benefits, it says that $1 million, you don't have to die in order to use it.
Accident may not kill you.
That's right.
The disease may not be terminal.
That's right. So living benefit means that you got a pile of money, death benefit of $1 million, let's just say.
Okay.
If you need long-term care, they will use that death benefit rather than waiting for you to die. They will give you part of that $1 million now to have to use toward a living benefit for long-term care.
Absolutely.
Okay, now that's just one.
Okay.
What if you still have that same $1 million?
Okay.
And all of a sudden you got breast cancer, prostate cancer, or you had a heart attack, or you went in a coma, and your family says, "Oh my God, they didn't die, so we can't get any money." Right. No, with living benefits, you don't have to die. As soon as a doctor says this person is in a coma, or this person had a heart attack, a mild heart attack, don't have to be a severe heart attack, can be a mild heart attack, or this person just had breast cancer, that $1 million, they may cut you a check for $250,000
to help
tax-free
while you're living.
While you're living.
Maria, can you say the number again? Absolutely. Phone number 305-825-1444. 305-825-1444. You can ask for Robert or myself, or we got a great crew here. Again, we're breaking down the excuses, Robert.
Yes.
Let's take this serious, guys. We can't go into the next century with not just creating wealth for our loved ones. We absolutely have to. So now, Mr. Certified Tax Coach.
Yes.
I can hear the people asking.
Right.
As a business owner, can I write off these premiums?
Yes, there's a way you can write this. If you have a business, you can deduct the premiums. There's a strategy that you can deduct the cost. Okay. Yes, you can.
Okay.
See, these are things that we don't talk about. Right. Now, you can have a lawn service and still fund your life insurance and get a tax deductible. A lot of people look for IRAs for tax deductible, but IRAs, I mean,
kindergarten.
Yes.
Yeah. Checkers.
And plus, it doesn't give you any life insurance. What product that you can have that you can use now? But there's one thing permanent. We all know that we are not going to get off this planet alive. We all gonna have to go by the way.
That's for sure. 305-825-1444. Yes, Maria, that's it.
Yes. So think about that. Now, I want you to think about, as I'm talking, I want you to think about your own personal situation.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I don't want you just listening. I want you to, like I say, drink of this. I want you to swallow. I want you to drink of this information. You know what I mean? Drink this information.
I love it.
Swallow it. Make it part of you.
Yeah.
I want you to understand the concept.
Okay.
No more. The new life insurance, if you got a life insurance policy and you got it 10 years ago, you got a flip phone. You don't have a smartphone. If you got it, and some people have them 20 years ago. You really have a flip phone life insurance.
And it's coming out your checking account, and you see this amount, and you
it's
just
old
leave it,
fashioned.
and it's old fashioned.
Oh, like a flip phone.
Yeah.
The new life insurance is a smartphone. You see what all the different things you can do with it. You follow me? And what I like about it, the premiums are flexible. Robert Henderson is not getting in anything that he can't get out of. Okay? In other words, it has to be flexible. If I say, listen, I want to put in $10,000 a year into this policy because I want to have access to this money, but I want to have all this living benefits. I don't want to pay for cancer insurance. There's a lot of companies that especially on the job, you pay for cancer insurance, but what if you don't get cancer? What happens to the money? It's gone. That's a gamble. But if you get a life insurance policy that we're talking about, and you got $1 million coverage or even $250,000 coverage, and if you get cancer, part of that death benefit, they give it to you now while you're alive. In other words, give me my flowers while I'm alive.
Absolutely.
Don't wait until I'm dead and give me all them flowers. I can't smell them. I can't see them.
I've lost people to cancer, and they didn't even have a family history or dementia or Alzheimer's and things that come up.
Yes.
And we don't know it, but we still have to live with it.
Yes.
Hence the living benefits.
And people say, I can't afford. Listen, these type of policies, like I said, they're flexible. So if you put in $10,000 a year or whatever, and all of a sudden you say, okay, next year I want to put in $1,500, you can do that, and the policy is still good. It's flexible. It's not like a contract that you tied into a certain amount. No, if you lose your job, you can reduce it. Matter of fact, you can get money from it, and then when you get yourself straight, you can go back and resume. That is pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
And you can't lose your money. Now, the only drawback now, this is the problem that most people have.
Okay.
The only drawback.
It's got to be one.
That's right.
Yeah, but let's tell the people.
And in life, I'm telling you, it's always trade-off. This is the only drawback what I'm about to say.
Okay.
Time. It takes time. In other words,
the only drawback.
That's the only drawback. Time.
I will take it any day.
Think about this.
Okay.
people say oftentimes, I should have done something 10 years ago.
Yes.
If you had have done this 10 years ago, man, you'd have been making money by now. Because these programs take time. The ones I'm telling you about, the IUL, the type of life insurance, it takes time.
Not to get rich quick overnight.
Right. The cash builds up over
Absolutely.
time. But 5-10 years will go by. And if you keep waiting, you always going to be a day late and $1 short. You wish you would have done it 10 years ago. Because if you're trying to live and take care of yourself, you're going to be around in 10 years.
And we got to stop letting time get in the way of our decisions. We got to stop wanting a microwave life and a microwave financial plan.
That's the problem.
It doesn't happen.
That's a big problem.
And if you notice, I know what I was doing 10 years ago. I can't believe the time has flown so much. And I plan on being here 10 years from now. So we got to think in short term, medium, and long term. What's your long term plan?
Yes.
You got to put one in action. So don't let time be a deterrent from this. You have to act on it. I'm very serious, Rob.
Yeah.
We're independent. We don't have to push a product. We're not trying to get a commission. But we really, this is not a moment for us. It's a movement.
Yes.
And we're very passionate about this. So we're trying to tell you, we're trying to give you the chess move so you can get out the game of checkers.
Yes. you know, and like I said, the only drawback is time because it takes time. But think about it. What's good that doesn't take time? You know, good relationships takes
Good
time.
marriage. My
Good
third
marriage.
one will be.
Fine wine, they age, that cognac, all right, 1840 or whatever, That's the good stuff. I mean, look at a tree, a strong tree that when a hurricane comes, is so deeply rooted. Those roots didn't get deep overnight. It took time. You follow me? And then they become strong. We have got to start looking at this metaphorically life and look at nature the way nature works. I use nature a lot in a lot of my decisions. If it doesn't correspond and correlates with nature, I'll say it's not good. I really onto this thing called time. James T says effectively managing time and change. Yes, and most people they feel that you can buy it. You can go get a PhD or master's degree or get all these awards. No, there's nothing until we understand how to use time correctly. Because, man, it's going to be there. If you're alive and if you're not managing time, time is going to mess you up. I'm going to say it again. If you plan on being alive and you're not managing your time and planting seeds right now, when 5 years, 10 years, 15 years get there, you're going to always be a day late and $1 short.
Now, we're not saying that change won't happen. Change
got to happen in order for you to grow.
Absolutely.
I mean, you just opened up the show talking about Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
Talking about Kamala Harris.
Right.
And you're talking about change.
I mean,
absolutely. Listen, change is a beautiful thing, and you've got to change your thinking and your mind. Now, stop thinking about or saying life insurance. I want to go buy stocks or whatever. First of all, I got to make sure that you're covered in case the unforeseen happens. Secondly, I have life insurance as another type of category, investment category. Now, think about it. Everything that seems to hurt or don't taste bad, isn't it oftentimes better for us?
Yes, the hard things, the things that take time, the things that don't taste good. So it's part of when we do financial planning.
Right.
For people.
Right.
This is a big part of it.
I got to look at the defense.
We have to look at it.
You can't have an offense without a defense. And most people just want to be an offense. They want things to happen. Things happen.
Right.
But what about if somebody score on you? What about if unforeseen contingencies? Unforeseen stuff, accidents, stuff just happens, really control a lot of our lives. We didn't know that was going to happen. Think about that. You got to plug that up.
One of the things that I have had insurance on all my life is auto. And I believe I got in one bad accident, and it wasn't my fault. Remember, down the street from you guys,
yes.
Somebody hit me. But I just feel like that's one of the things that is better to have it and not need it. But with this type of insurance, with life insurance and a new type of life insurance, it's not just, I don't feel it's a waste. I can't say waste because you got to have, first of all, it's illegal not to have it. But it's just like that car insurance, it's part of my what if.
But you know what?
It's part of my what if.
But you know what? You said something made me
Okay.
think. Think about this.
Okay.
Everybody who's listening to us, watching us,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a car, you insure your car.
Absolutely.
Isn't that something? If you have a house,
Old car, new car,
you insure your chest. If you have a house, you insuring that house.
100%. My buildings.
Now, probably half the people, not our crew that call, and not you guys,
Right.
but people who are listening to us, who probably not our clients, they know they don't have any life insurance. Now, they have auto insurance.
Oh, yeah.
And if they have a car, and if they have a house, they have homeowner insurance.
yeah.
So they're insuring a house, a physical. But who's more important than all of this stuff? The car, the house, or you?
The person who paying for the car.
That's
and
right.
house.
And they don't have insurance.
And they don't have insurance.
Can you believe
Or
that?
if something happened to you, you can't work to pay for these things. You don't. You're the missing piece. You're the most important piece there.
Right.
Yeah.
Think about that, man. See, we never talk about this, Lynda. We, nationwide, we never have a come to Jesus moment and say, listen, let's tell the truth. Let's talk about this. We don't, because we're too busy watching Netflix or watching sports or listening to music or whatever.
Breaking down
we not-
excuses.
yeah.
And stop saying you can't afford it and it's not in your budget.
Yes.
I see you on social media. I see you on social media. You may get the diamonds out sometimes and all that good stuff. It means nothing if you don't have a what if plan.
Yes.
You are the goose with the golden egg. You are the CEO of your corporation. And if you're not around a tribe or a board of directors of your life, like Robert or I or other friends that's going to tell you how to make sure not what you make, but what you keep. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
I see you. You got the extra money. We'll find it.
And you know what? And let me tell you something. The people who can't, they have this thing called final expense. You know what that is, Lynda?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's someone who they wasn't a forward thinker. They didn't get into life insurance. They didn't believe in it. And now there's companies that sell final expense. Final expense means
You don't
that,
have to take up a GoFundMe.
right. So Big Mama, here's a $10,000 policy. Your health is bad. But here's a $10,000 life insurance policy. Most people have. When they do, they want to get a $10,000 life insurance policy that costs $1,000 a year. Now, think about that. They're not going to ask you any medical questions. But you get a $10,000 policy for the rest of your life. Let's say you're 60 years old. And you want to get a $10,000 policy. That's going to cost you $1,000 a year. That's the final expense. Now, if you die before 10 years, then you won. In other words, you benefited.
But is that really you dead?
Nah. So some people will say, listen, this policy going to pay a $10,000
Okay.
if I die.
Okay.
I'm paying $1,000 a year. If I die next year, then it was a good bet. It was a good investment. It was good. You still work. Then it works out in your favor. But what happens if it's the 11th year and you're still alive? If you don't pay that $1,000 for that 10,
paid.
it's paid up. That's right. That's right. You've already paid.
Already
That's how they rip you
paid.
off. Isn't that
Man.
something?
So all those commercials, you mean I can get it at any age?
Yes.
What's my come on, y'all.
Yes.
There's nothing out there
They
that's
punish
free.
you. They punish.
it's
The longer you
bad.
wait to do what I'm telling you to do. See, anytime you procrastinate and wait to do something, it don't get better.
Yeah, I know.
It don't get better when you put it off
Trust
and
me, I
wait.
know.
I don't know anything that gets better when you put it off and you wait, especially dealing with medical life and death stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you got a hickey on your head and you're gonna keep waiting, if you got a toothache, you're gonna keep thinking just gonna go away. You're not gonna go to the dentist. You should have went last year. Now it's been 5 years. You still putting toothpaste on it?
There's a saying: youth is wasted on the young. Youth is wasted on the young.
Why do you say that?
Meaning, very often, you don't have the wisdom when you're young. Because obviously you don't, because you
Time.
the benefit of time, and so it's a waste as we keep trying to tell you, do this now, my 25-year-old, do this now, my 30-year-old. Some of them still don't listen, and so that's when they say it's wasted on the young. But don't let it be a waste. Use your youthfulness. I often say I don't want to be 25 again, but I want my money to be 25 again.
Well, I think the reason why that happens, is because, a lot of us are not talking to the youth, and it's not convincing, and we're not
But
demonstrating.
some of us, we are. And I bet you, again, first 48 hours, I challenge you. They still don't listen.
Well, listen.
I mean, come on.
Let me tell you something. This is a young man
Okay.
that I went bike riding with. Antonio friend. His name was Bacon.
Bacon?
Yeah, his name is Ron Bacon. He goes. I think he
Okay.
goes to St. Thomas. And this guy was just in terms of voting, he was. I mean, he's a smart guy, like an A student, student government president, and going to be a lawyer, attorney. And this guy says he wasn't going to waste time voting
You
nationally.
just wasted on the young.
He said
Lord
he was rallying up his followers for just voting local. He said politics are local.
And he really wasn't going to vote in the national.
And he's a smart kid. Until I sat down and as we was riding on our bikes, we was having a conversation. Then when we finished riding, we sit down, took a break. I educated on him.
Put that young man name out there. Somebody that was not going to
No,
vote.
but he did. But now I seen him on, I think, Channel 6 or 77 News last week,
Fantastic.
talking about the importance of
Are you
voting
serious?
nationwide.
That
Yes.
should make you feel good.
Oh man, Antonio sent the clip to me.
That
It
is
made me feel real
amazing.
good. So when you say that they don't listen, it depends on how you explain it and talk to them. And most of the time, even when we were younger, we didn't listen to someone who wasn't demonstrating. I think if I was a bum in the street, or he didn't look at me as having somebody having some sense, he probably wouldn't. He would blew me
That's
off.
a good point. Someone that's demonstrating.
You have to demonstrate it. They wouldn't listen to Jesus. If Jesus was sitting there doing nothing, Jesus had to part the sea. I mean, that was Moses, but Jesus had to had to do a whole lot. You have to demonstrate. So when you trying to talk to someone, if you down and out, they're not going to listen to you. I got a friend of mine who didn't do the right thing. Okay, now he's on the corner selling hot dogs or selling something, but he's not doing it now because of the pandemic.
Right.
And I remember when I was 21 years old and I was trying to get my friends to go and study investment stocks and bonds. 'Cause I said, listen, we're not getting an inheritance. Why don't we study this money thing so we can be really expert?
Amen.
And they said, no, we're not reading all those books and doing all that. And I said, no, we got to sacrifice. They didn't want to do it. Fast forward, 40 years later, he calls me up and says, hey, Robert, I got a son. And he wants to get into stocks and investments. And he don't think I know nobody. He says, I want you to talk to him and tell him who you are. And I want you to tell him about stocks and everything. Because he don't think that his father,
Because his father was not demonstrating.
his father's not demonstrating. His father, just didn't pan out well. He's just a chain smoker, cigarette. He drinks. He just didn't pan out well. So, okay.
Talking about not paying out well.
He just didn't pan out well. He didn't make the right choices. So fast forward, it's real life. Fast forward, I'm home. So all of a sudden he calls me on my phone and he says, Robert, I want you to talk to my son. I said, sure, I would love to talk to your son and let your son know that you know somebody that's doing this. He called his son, Devontae. I'm on the phone waiting. Devontae, do you know his son will not come to the phone? His son did not believe he could possibly know somebody with some sense. And I was eager to talk to his son, but his son won't come to the phone. He like, Daddy, it's nowhere in the world you know somebody like Robert Henderson. He that knows about stocks. Look at you, Daddy.
I'm
So he could
going
not.
to
He would
laugh
not
at you
take.
right now.
He would not. Well, this is a real life story. I'm telling you. He would not come to the phone. He didn't believe that his father could possibly have somebody telephone number with some sense that can tell him about stocks and was a stockbroker. He never came to the phone. So
you never talked to Devontae.
no.
Devontae, if you're out there, Robert Henderson is still looking to talk to you.
And that's my point. That's my point. You got to start demonstrating. You got to show your client. You got to show
can
your
remember,
family. You got to carry yourself a certain way so they can say, I see. We live in it's called the law of demonstration. How are you carrying yourself? If you're just going to church every Sunday 2 and 3 times and you on welfare and you just bust out and you ain't got nothing to show for it, little Johnny, it's kind of hard for him to believe whoever you praying to hears you. It's just hard. So you got to demonstrate and you got to talk to him. So when you say, you got me on this, Lynda, because you say that you so young and they don't want to listen. who's talking to him? Ron listened, and now everybody, all his
I
friends.
listened to you when I was in our 20s.
Yeah, you did, because I was demonstrating.
You were demonstrating.
Right. You see me, how I was living with your sister.
You came up there
You
that
like,
new.
yeah, you like, oh, what this brother? You like, hold on,
Yeah.
he willing to share? Yes. Why do I share? Why I'm willing to talk?
Oh,
Because
my
let me tell you
goodness.
something. We all, when you know something and it's good and it's working, shame on you if you try to hoard it and keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
What good
yeah.
is it being the only apple on the tree? You want the tree to be full of apples so you can have neighbors and friends. Because if everybody rich around you, man, you got a powerful group. Why you want to just be by yourself? So you're supposed to say, listen, we know the Henderson Financial Group.
Absolutely.
Here's their number. Lynda, tell them a number again.
305. I'm going to go slow. 305 825 1444. 305 825 1444.
And I want you to share that. Stop hoarding it. Share it. We in this together, man. Think about it. If we all are wealthy and doing our thing, then we can be a we. That's the only way we gonna overcome. Right now, I'm overcoming and you not. You jealous. You envious. You wishing something happened to me. No. You're supposed to be tending your business, and you're supposed to be honing your craft, and you're
Absolutely.
supposed to be creating, and we're supposed to be asking each other, how do you do that? How does that work? That's what we should be doing more. So all of us, let me tell you something. There's no excuse not to cover your family. There's no excuse for you sitting there and you're not covered. You should have some sort of life insurance, because life insurance only costs pennies on the dollar.
Don't
Yes,
tell them you love them and don't have any type of protection for them.
in the pennies.
That's the best gift of love.
You can't say you can't afford it.
Yeah.
You can pay $200 a year for a $300,000 policy. It can be term policy, but we can convert it to a permanent policy later on when your hustle gets stronger and you start making more money, right?
There is nothing that replaces hard work. And again, I got to keep going back to the top of the show when I kept saying, you know, our new VP, Miss Harris, that would be my name as well, Kamala Harris. She worked at it. She strived. She had a plan. Some would say, and they said it with disdain, Robert, that she was grooming herself for this. So what?
Yeah.
You should groom yourself for greatness. So all of you, again, I don't want that term youth is wasted on the young. Please, while you're out there, try to give us a call. Give us a call. 305-825-1444. There's no more excuses, Robert. We're seeing so many things.
See what Al asked?
What's that?
Read it.
What do you think about the minimum wage increase amendment?
I love that.
What do you think, Al?
No, but I love it. Let me tell you why. I just had this conversation with your sister,
Okay.
my wife for
Okay.
33 years, Natalie. I just had this conversation. When I was like 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, I used to work for CBS Channel 4. I went to school for architectural design, graphics, and architecture. And I got a part-time job. The professor at the college says, Henderson, you keep wearing the same jeans and T-shirt. Obviously, you need a job. I was the only brother in the whole architectural class.
Wow.
Nobody looked like me. So I'm used to being with people who don't look like me. I fit in good.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so I got a job at CBS Channel 4, right? Anyway, they was paying me $500 a week. In other words, they was paying me $12.50 an hour. Lynda, that was 38 years ago. $12.50 an hour, 38 years ago. Right now, they want to start in Florida, $8, $9, $10 an hour.
$8.58.
So you trying to tell me that I was 38 years ahead of them? They still haven't caught up? That's how the rich get richer. See, if $15 an hour, listen, it's a great thing. You have to give people some money where they can afford to live. Yeah, Al, I love that. Because let me tell you something. When we do pay and we increase the minimum wage, the companies that are making money, they get a tax deduction for it. It's a write-off. It really is. I love that. I love the minimum wage increase. The only thing about it is they still stifle people, because now they're going to edge it in, I think, until 2026.
Absolutely.
So you got 6 more years to get up to that. So next year it's like 1 year extra. They're going to give you $1 more. $1 more. But let me tell you something. 38 years ago, $1 million was something. Do you still think 38 years right now, $1 million is a lot of money? You rich?
No.
Think about it. I walked away from $12.50 an hour, which is equivalent to $500 a week. I told Channel 4, I don't want to do this anymore. It ain't going nowhere. I'm a dreamer. I don't want to be here. Y'all going to give me a 3% raise every year? I can calculate what I'm going to be making. So I left. And they like, you left? I said, yes. Before I ran off and left now, I spent three of those 5.5 years studying investment stocks and bonds on the side at night.
You had yourself a plan.
I had myself a plan.
Absolutely.
You know?
Lynn Blondette says, we do share. However, the majority of people we do tell are not ready for the conversation because they don't think it's possible.
Wow.
Yeah,
well, Lynn, I used to feel bad about that until I read the scriptures, and Jesus said, there will always be the poor among you. And there's a time for everybody. Some people don't hear you, because we talk to people.
Even when you're demonstrating, sometimes they're still not ready.
I got family members that don't do business with me, and they'll ask me for some money, but they won't come and ask me, hey, how do you do this or whatever. So, I don't get mad about it. You still keep sharing and you keep talking. And as they see your light shine, then they want to say, I want some of that. I want to do that. You have to be the light. That's all. Just be the light. And you still share. But you don't have to, I don't want you all to just force people. I don't force anybody. Everybody that knows me, no, I don't force anybody. I don't beat you down. I don't run you down. I'll give you the information. Mm-hmm. And if you want the information, then if you're ready, then you take it and run with it. Let me tell you something. There is no shortage of information. Matter of fact, the universe, anytime you want to do something, the universe will put the right people in your path if you really, really have a passion about it. And the right people will show up.
Yeah.
The only drawback is time. You might not happen today. It might happen next year. We can't tell you the time, but I tell you, I promise you, if you have a passion, you want to do something, you have a goal, you keep working on your passion, and the people, the situation will show up exactly how they need to be for it to happen for you. I promise you.
Absolutely.
I promise you.
Get yourself a plan and work your plan. I definitely know where we're going to be in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. We're working on it right now.
Yes,
Robert.
yes.
And so, again, I'm just big on breaking down these excuses. 305-825-1444. Give us a call. Let's see where you are now, where you want to be, and let us help you get there.
Yes, because things, man, and change is good. Change is good. And let time be on your side. Don't be afraid of time. Don't be afraid to say, I'm getting ready to do something, and I want it to come into fruition. It may take 10 years.
Right.
That's good.
It can be your best friend or worst enemy, depending on how you use it. That's
right. That's right. The law of attraction, as Catrice said. Plan. You should have good plans. I mean, we plan for Christmas,
Oh yeah, weddings.
We plan holidays.
1 whole year in advance, people plan for weddings.
And spend a lot of money for that one day, But change. Plan your lifestyle change. That's what I want you guys to do. And like I said, time. Don't worry about it's going to take too long. No. All those beautiful trees that you see in great neighborhoods, you think they just happened overnight? No. It took time.
In any neighborhood, not just great neighborhood. There's big trees in the hood too, Robert.
No, but y'all know what I'm saying.
All those beautiful trees, period.
What I'm trying to say is trees and landscaping is beautiful. It makes a neighborhood looks beautiful, Lynda. That's what I'm saying. And oftentimes they don't want to plant trees because it take too long. But time. They come out, they look beautiful. That foliage green.
Yeah, the canopy.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But it
Absolutely.
takes time. Everything that's good takes time. So I want you to start thinking about that. What did James T. say, Lynda?
One will plant, another will water, and God will give the increase. The harvest always starts with the planting.
James T.
Start planting.
That's right.
Absolutely. I've
and that's a law. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's exactly if you do it. I want you all to stay tuned. For my daughter Hyacinth, Tavares is out today. Matter of fact, he's taking another exam. Okay,
Right.
he's taking another exam. He's gonna pass that exam today. So all us, wishing him luck. Not luck, 'cause he's prepared for it, so he's gonna pass it. All right.
He's planning.
So I'm gonna fill in with the next show that's come on 9:15. Cream with my daughter Hyacinth. We're gonna have a great show. Matter of fact, I think we're gonna talk about solo 401k. What is a solo 401k? It's Education Saturday. So you stay tuned,
locked
okay?
in, yeah.
And that's gonna be from 9:15 to 10:15. And then James T, my brother from another mother. We have the same father. We from the same tree. We're gonna be on from 10:30 to 11:30. So I want you to keep it locked. Don't you touch that dial. We love you. Lynda, last parting words.
Our phone number 305-825-1444. And this time next week, I will celebrate properly. You kind of tampered me down. You're right. But let's go.
All right.
All right.
Much love. Have a good weekend.